Okay, y'all, welcome to another YouTube video. Today is gonna be a good one. First of all, forgive the echo in this room. It is empty right now because today I am going to show you how I made my most iconic shelves in the background of my Instagram lives and a lot of my Instagram photos and everything. I get questions about it all of the time and it is such a fun project, so I thought I would show you how I did it two different ways. I have a house in America and a house in Cancun, if you're new around here, and decorating it room by room. And this is my beauty room slash office. You can see here that it is kind of just a mess at the moment. This was originally downstairs in the living room and I moved it up here. I am renting this house in Cancun, so I'm kind of using the things that they have left as, you know, the original sort of design of the house and adding different elements for myself, but also trying not to buy too many things that I don't want to have to try to sell later on whenever I move out of Cancun to a new country or whatever. So we are working with what we've got. I found a really amazing way to do these custom shelves here in Cancun, which is a totally different way than I did them in my house in America, right? In the US.
I'll actually insert some footage here of me building these shelves that I originally put in my American house when I was building all the furniture out for my beauty room. As you can see, there's many different cuts and it's very much a professional sort of shelf. And if you're interested in hearing exactly how I built all of that, let me know in the comments down below. The ones I'm building here are based on me having limited tools. So I have things like a power drill, but I don't have a, circular saw, for example. So they're really renter friendly and useful if you're not very used to power tools, which is why I really love this design. If you can find these same products in your local Home Depot, they're going to be so much easier to put together for you and you get the same look for a lot less work that goes into the background of them. So I'm excited to show you exactly how we did it.
Okay, I want to walk you through what the vision for this room is and where the shelves are going to go. And I'm going to do a whole YouTube video on exactly what I'm doing to transform this space completely and redecorate everything. So I'll give you the full tour of when this room is completely done in that series. The series is going to be so fun. But this video is just going to be about the shelves specifically because they're very detailed and I get the most questions about how I created them and how I made them. So when you walk in, you have, of course, a blank space. We have this really large chair here. I probably wouldn't have picked this chair by myself, but it did come with the house. This is a standing desk. This is going to go over here. And then this is going to be the wall of shelves. You can see this is a very large sort of blank wall right now. And how it's going to work is we're going to put one large shelf here, one large shelf here, one large shelf here, maybe a little bit lower. And that way the background of my videos and my lives have the same shelving that they do in my American house. So because they're only 4 feet and we need one quite long, we're gonna do 4-foot shelf, 4-foot shelf, literally sitting directly next to each other, butting up against each other. So there's just one long shelf and then another one long shelf and then another one long shelf like that. And then this wall will probably have something like a scarf maybe that is framed. We're gonna move that obviously ugly clock. It's not ugly, but it's just, of course, doesn't fit the vibe of this room. And then I'm going to look for maybe an IKEA, something that I can make into an island here that is movable or modular so I can roll it in and out of the way. And then definitely an area rug because the echo here is intense for sure. And we definitely have to fix that. This is just a regular closet, but I'll probably do a lot of storage actually there. Like my lights, for example, will go in there. And then there is the TV. So we're gonna make this room really cute. Of course, my little balcony, which is so fun. I'll have to figure out something fun to put there. But these shelves are gonna go here. So we will do it together and see how they turn out. Hopefully it's good. First, let's take you to Home Depot where they have a very cool product with stucco shelves. A lot of times it's for siding. The ones in the US, I actually used crown, which usually goes like across the ceiling, as you can see right here. There's no crown here, but you would put a crown. That's how I made my shelves in the US. But let's go to Home Depot now because here they have a really cool product and hopefully they have it at your Home Depot too. And I will show you what it is. Okay, so once you're back from Home Depot and you have all of your pieces in order, you start painting them. So we have everyone at work in the studio right now because we're trying to get this done way faster than it would take for me to do by myself, which is so awesome. My dad is a contractor in real life, so he has all the skills. I am also a contractor's daughter, so I know how to do a lot of this myself, and you will be able to too. Especially in this project, it's way less power tool heavy and you don't have to saw anything, which is awesome. So you can see Dad here in the background. Love it. Dad, say hi.
Hi. I also play a contractor on TV.
He doesn't, but if there's any shows out there that want to host my dad on a TV show, he would love that. He would thrive in that environment. Anyways, so we have 6 of the total shelves here that we bought at Home Depot. They're 4 foot each, meaning 4 foot, and then the next one that's going to sit right next to it is another 4 foot. Now, you can buy boards from Home Depot like this, 8 feet, which is a little perfect because we're going to put this on top of our shelves to become like a wider top. You'll see this in the end result, of course, than these original shelves allowed, because these original shelves are quite narrow. There's not a lot of space, which would be great if you didn't want to put something super wide on them, but if you want to put like wider things and just overall kind of make them look a little bit more custom, then this shelf is perfect. So then we have these right here, which are going to hide the join between this top board and these shelves. We're going to put it on the very edge, and that way this will kind of hide the join between the both of them, and again, just make it a little bit more custom. So we are painting everything right now, and then we will take it all upstairs and we'll put it together, and I will show you how we do it. The other really cool thing about these is that there's no cutting involved, where usually you would have to, you know, cut things on a 90-degree angle and join them together so it kind of comes to a point on the side. This takes care of all of that, and I'm so excited to see how they turn out, and you will see how we attach them and everything as well. There, we're attaching the boards first with L brackets, and then these on the bottom are kind of just more of a decorative piece, but there's not going to be a lot of pressure put on these because of course there's styrofoam in the middle. We are doing 2 coats of paint, by the way. This is the first coat, and then it will dry, and then this is what 1 coat of paint looks like on the stucco shelves. So here is the shelf up close. You have this right here, which is really interesting, a styrofoam, and then this on the outside of it is a really hard stucco. This is 1 layer of paint, and then you'll see what it looks like with 2 layers of paint, but this is actually for a stucco building, and then they put it up and then they put stucco like around it, and it kind of becomes a part of the building. But for our case, we're going to use it just as a shelf. So it's really great because it's really light because of the styrofoam here, and then the stucco kind of creates that stone look, which will look really good with this board sort of on top of it. But yeah, that's what they look like up close. I'll take you along for the journey of putting them together as a shelf. Okay, it's the next morning, and you can see that we have them all painted. Now this is the back. This bottom part right here will show just a little bit, so it's half painted, and then this of course is the top, and then this over here you can see it all sort of put together and what it's going to look like. Now this is upside down. This is the top, and then this is the bottom, so you can just imagine it flipped and put on the wall, but I wanted to show you sort of it all together. Now I'm kind of debating on having this gap towards the back of the wall and then just filling the gap space with something on the side, or of course the original plan was to make it look like this, and you just have this larger space here. Now again, this is the top of it, so you have to just imagine it upside down, and you won't really see the gap as much because when you're looking at it, you do have this little lip right here that kind of covers it up a little bit. So we'll see what it looks like upside down, but yeah, that is kind of what it's going to look like all together. You can see how both of them just sort of butt up next to each other. It's not the perfect setup, but it's a great sort of renter-friendly, easy project setup that you can just pop them on the wall, and you have a really, really gorgeous custom shelf for minimal money. I think I spent $20 each on these, and I bought 6 of them and 3 of these boards and 3 of these little pieces of trim that hide that little lip edge, so it's not a raw edge, because if you didn't have this little lip right here, it would look like this on the raw edge, which doesn't look as nice, of course. So you want to put a little lip, and of course it hides this little gap. And again, you could just use these, right? You don't have to put this extra little bit on top of here, but this is about maybe 6 inches, so it's quite narrow. If you're putting your shoes sideways on it, then it would work, but it wouldn't work for a shoe facing front, and it wouldn't work for like wide base purses, and I have both of those things, so I wanted to get a little larger top for them. So let's take you to whenever we have them upstairs. Okay, now we have all of the shelves in the room, and you can start seeing it come together. This piece is going to go like this, 1, 2, 3 across the board, but maybe a mirror right there or something, and then like a little island here. We'll see. I need this space to be functional for a lot of different categories, but let's get the shelves on the wall first, and then of course another video will be decorating this whole place up. I'm excited.
Okay, we have the first shelf up, like you can see here, and then this is going to go underneath, right here and right here, and then we'll do the same thing 3 times. I measured it this high up because I want to be able to put this chair kind of underneath it and be able to film in front of it and stuff like that too. So we are 1 step down, many more to go. Let's do it. Okay, y'all, we have the first shelf up. Look how good she looks. I love it. I am so excited. Of course, it is not as, you know, artsy and refined as the one that I have in America, in the US, the house in the US, but it still does the job. It's great. Obviously, I have this little crack right here in the middle that I will probably fill in with a bit of just like wood filler and then paint it, touch it up a little bit. And it's gonna look great. Same thing with these front little bits right here. We nailed these in, so I just need to do a little touch-up work there. But I mean, in a pinch for like 200 bucks, you have a gorgeous, really large shelf that looks amazing, and it's a really easy to do. All we did is screw down from the top down into this baseboard right here. Now, of course, this is styrofoam, so you don't have a lot for it to hold on. That top little bit of plaster is the only thing that you have to kind of hold the strength. So what we're going to do is we're gonna put one more here and here just to kind of give it a little bit more a stick on the wall to hold the weight up. And then we're good to go. And we will do 2 more, one here, and we will have all of the shelves. It's gonna look great. I'm so excited. And who is ready for a progress update? We have all 3 on the wall now, and Dad is caulking the center part right there with some white caulk to hide that little center line, as well as just kind of add to the support overall, where the one up here wasn't caulked at all and the other ones. And yeah, it looks so good so far. We're gonna see that line right here all the way across. We're actually gonna caulk that as well, so it looks a little bit less, especially on camera. And it looks great. I'm so excited. So all we have to do now is fill in these little holes on the front here where the nails are. I'll show you up close, you have a better of a reference. And then here as well, we'll probably just paint over those. We didn't want to suck them down too far into the actual board because it's only styrofoam under there, and we didn't want to risk spinning the nail in the styrofoam. But it looks great. I'm so excited. I would come back for the final reveal. Okay, who's ready for the reveal? We're still not done yet. Dad came up with this brilliant idea to caulk the center little line here, and you can see how much it's disappeared on the little center part compared to this. Even on camera, there's a huge difference, and then when it dries, it'll look even better. But as you can see, look how great that looks, right? You can see the both, and then I can just like take a picture or whatever, have be there, and maybe even have the chair there in the center or something. So cool. I absolutely love it. Now that one is really tall, but I still kind of preferred it because it kind of draws your eye up a little bit more, especially when I'm in vertical on like filming a TikTok or something. You'll have your eye drawn up just a little bit more, and otherwise it just looks like great little shelves on the wall. I can still open this door here, and then maybe here I'll put a mirror. Love it. Final reveal. Dun, 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 dun. Look how amazing that looks. You can see where the final touches really make all of the difference. You can see here, if you come up close, you can still see sort of this gap, right? But it looks so much better than it did, especially on camera. Those kind of like hides all of those flaws. And then there was a pretty large gap up here where the top board and crown underneath were connecting. And again, we caulked that up. We just used regular white silicone caulk to do that. You kind of saw my dad do that in the background, and just caulked it all the way around. And the top part here has just a little bit of silicone on those little screws as well, but of course that'll be covered up with something that I put on the shelf, and it looks beautiful. Yay! And you can see the full comparison where you can get something just as pretty and without all of the tools and hard, you know, sort of labor and kind of expertise that goes into the shelves that I built at my house in America. These are just as pretty and they do the job. Of course, they're a little bit different, but still you have the basic idea of getting something really grand for like 200 bucks. So we love to see it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. The time that we pranked all of Costco into thinking my dad was Robert De Niro. This is the 3rd picture. This is my favorite thing that's ever happened.